Hello and welcome to lag. Today I'm going to be showing the tutorial for Arma 3, the editor. So basically, you will see every single thing on here and show you what it does and what situation you would use it in. So basically, let's start off with the sides. This is showing all the different sides you can get. Opera will fight blue for. They'll both fight each other. And independent will fight whoever you put in your settings, the cloud with the sun on it up in the top. Civilians will not be killed unless ordered to, through some sort of script or you making them do it manually. Ambient life hasn't been added much yet, but it's giving you a little bunny rabbit. Don't really see the point in combat, but it's just a joke, I think. It's just something to add realism or hunting. The faction. Now then, the FIA and the NATO are on the same side. They can join the same groups as each other. They can be commanded by one person. So yeah, everything on faction is always like that. Class. This is basically what unit you want to put down, what type of unit you want to put down, and then unit is a more in-depth of what unit you actually want, what you wanted to have on it. Special. Let's go through this from the bottom because it's easier. In formation, that basically puts them all in a formation due to where their commander is. Doesn't matter where you put them, they'll go straight to where the commander is. So if you put the commander over one side of the map and the guy over the other side and put them in formation, they'll jump straight to the commander. The default formation, I think, is the V. It's the V where the commander's at the front. Yeah, so flying, basically, that only works with helicopters and planes, and if you put it on a unit, it'll just default to none. In cargo, that's I don't know what it's used for exactly, but I use it for making cars stay in a certain place, like, or planes. I don't want them to take off, so I press that, and it seems to work. I don't know if that's just a happy coincidence. None. That's basically just them standing wherever you place them. The control. Now then, non-playable just puts them as an AI or an NPC, whatever you want to call it. They just derp about. They don't, unless they got waypoints and stuff like that. They don't really move. Player. This is the one that you control. The default one when you press preview up at the top corner. Then that'll be the person you are. Playable, you can press U anytime you can, anytime you want in single player. And it'll bring up a menu of all the players that you've selected as playable, and you can switch between them. You can also switch. You can also only have one of the units can be playable. Player. Any amount of units you want to be playable, but only one player. That's that. Vehicle lock. This is whether you want a car to be locked or not. So unlocked will leave it. You're allowed to get in there. Anyone's allowed to get in there. All AIs, you, your friends, anyone can get in there. Default is the same. I don't really know what it changes. I haven't really looked too far into that. Locked. That locks it to AI players, everybody. Nobody can get in the vehicle. Locking it to player allows NPCs and AI to get in, but you can't get in. So let's put that back to that. Rank. Right, this is more of an in-depth thing. Whoever you want to be the commander has to be higher than the one that's the other guy. So if I put three guys down just so you can tell which one's the commander, because it's just a line. So basically, a little bit of lag, sorry for that. This rifleman is the commander at the moment, but if I put his rank above private, so corporal, then he becomes the commander. If I put his above corporal and put him as sergeant, then he becomes the commander. So if I put his as lieutenant, he will be commanding. And if you put one as colonel and then another as colonel, doesn't really change. Whichever one you put down first will be automatic. So, speaking, if this should work, yeah. Whichever person you put down first will always be a commander if they're the same rank. So let's delete these two just by hovering over them and pressing the delete button on my keyboard. Oops. Info age. I don't really know what this does exactly, but it's something to do with how long it takes until they find out there's an enemy in the area. Something really weird. I think you have to hook up to a module probably. Azimuth, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, is the 360 degree spin. Right, that's the 360 degree spin. 360, where 90 or 180 or 270, whichever one. The elevation. This could be used in any instance where you want to put somebody on a roof. So if you want to put somebody on, say, this roof, you put them in there, and then you put the elevation on, say, 5, and then you press preview, and then you test if he's actually on the roof. And if he's just lower than the roof, and he falls through the roof, then you can put him on 7. You can put him on. You can do 7.5 as well, so you can get really accurate. You can do 7.55555. You can get as much accurate as you can, as you want, as you can be bothered to do. As soon as you play now, he'll just die because he's too high up off the ground. His elevation is 7. So you can put it back to 0. Now, basically, the name, this could be referred to in initialization. So, if you're going to type in a script, and instead of typing this, add weapon, whatever, add weapon, you could type in, his name would be Red, so you could type in Red, add weapon. But that's not the real script. I don't know what I can't remember what the real script is. I've got a list of scripts that I use, and I just copy and paste. The description, I think this is used when you're selecting your character on multiplayer, or through the team switch. So you can say, this is the guy to blow up the building. So you remember which one to switch to. If you've got like a whole team of people that you're switching back and forth from. The skill, this really only matters if it's AI. So if it's non-playable, then this matters if he's got aimbot or if he sucks. So let's put that on half. Armor and fuel, if you put it this low, he'll just be killed. If you're on this high, he'll have full health. He wouldn't be injured. If you put it on this high, I think he's got like broken legs or something. But on a helicopter, if you put it this low, the tail rotor would be disabled. Something like on 0.3 or something like that, the tail rotor is destroyed. And if you put the fuel all the way down on a helicopter, he'll just fall out of the sky. But if you put it on low, he'll land just before he runs out. He'll fly about, and then as he's about to land, as he's about to run out, he'll land. So it's not any good if you want to just have a helicopter blow up in midair. Ammunition. This basically works with anything with a turret on top or a guy with a gun. That's no ammunition. Can't speak today. That's full ammunition, and that's half, obviously. Probability of presence. If you want to be surprised, you can make a base full of stuff, and then you can put them all on half, and then half of the base, well, around about that amount, will spawn. There's a 50% chance that that thing will be there when you get there. And now if I put it on false, I don't see why anybody would do this, why is there any point, but that would then have the unit not be there at all, no matter what this is on. The placement radius, this is stuff to do with modules, the initialization and stuff like that. You don't really need to do that if you just place them down. The rest of it, if you hold shift and click your unit and drag, you can spin him. Right click in, remove the map, left click in, remove the guy. Zooming in and out using the minus and plus buttons. And go on to you can press F1 or F2 to switch between the things. So you're going to go to groups. Basically, if you have two units that you've placed too far away, but you want them to be in the same group, you can click the group button and then link them. And then depend on which rank, depending on the rank of the unit, will depend on whether he's a commander or not. So then let's leave that there. Again, he's useless to us now. But this is the group. This is obviously what side you want. It's exactly the same as picking a guy on the thing, but you're picking multiple guys this time. You can go on special forces and do a recon team. There's a UAV operator, team leader, and a UAV. So the guy can tell, and the team leader was the commander, so you can tell the guy to get and control the UAV to go somewhere and whatever. But all this, the rest will be in a different episode. I don't know when, I don't know why. Basically, if you want any initialization class names, they all appear. You just press Control C, Control V, and then that's basically the class name for the create unit initialization. You can put in a waypoint. You could just and then on act, and then you go for a lot of coordinates and stuff, and who you want him to spawn on, who you want him to be in a team with, and stuff on the end of it. But that's pretty much that. The config viewer will also show you all the class names for everything in the game that they haven't put as locked, because they know they've locked a lot of stuff in the game that you can only get through an unlock mod. I think that's it. Anyway, one more thing. When you put down a team, you can select them and then shift click, and you can drag them all like that. If you put it like that, he will then spin in a complete orbit, if you like, around the team, and then you can just place them back there. So that's that then. Good luck editing missions, and this has been Killer Alid. Goodbye.